Jean-Michaël Seri joining Chelsea from Nice is becoming more and more likely, but who is he and how good is he? No change in our struggles of appointing a manager, Yaya Touré for just £1 a week, and interest in Newcastle centre-back Jamaal Lascelles. To find out about all of that and more in detail, make sure you watch the whole of today's transfer show. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for another episode of the Transfer Show. And this is the show where we'll give you all the latest news surrounding Chelsea Football Club, whether it is transfer news about players or news about the new manager, all of that. And if you don't want to miss out on any of that, make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already, and also make sure you click the notification bell button so you make sure that you don't miss out on any of our videos. And let's see whether we can hit 800 likes on this video today, because again, you absolutely smashed the 700 like target, of the last video, and we got over 1,000 likes, which is absolutely amazing. But let's not go too far. Let's not go straight for 1,000. Let's go for 800. If we reach 1,000, that's amazing again. But let's set ourselves the like target of 800 likes. Make sure you drop a like down below and get straight into the video, because reports have come out about the 26-year-old Ivorian midfielder Jean-Michaël Seri from Nice joining Chelsea, and those reports are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And we are said to be in advanced talks with the player as well, who is even more willing to join after hearing that he is Roman Abramovich's first choice of possible midfield signings. And apparently we are actually willing to pay his reported buyout clause of €40 million or roughly £35 million, unlike Arsenal, who reportedly have a very limited budget, transfer budget this season, and because of that have apparently pulled out of trying to sign Seri. Now if you don't know anything or not much about Seri, to be honest, I didn't know all that much about him either, because I don't watch Nice and I don't watch the Liga all too much, if I'm being honest. But I was told, and what I read is, that he is a very good creative player, that maybe didn't have the greatest season at Nice this year, and doesn't have the greatest goal scoring and assisting record, but controls the tempo of the game, distributes play, and has outstanding passing abilities. But at the same time, he's not anywhere near as slow as Fabregas is, for example. Statue-wise, he's very close to Kante. He's very short as well, but he's a very different player to Kante still. From what I've heard, tackling is actually his biggest weakness. Basically, he is a very good player, but he's not like Xabi, Xabi is one of the greatest midfielders to ever play this game, and some people comparing it to him. He's not that good, but he is good. And I've seen Jorginho at Napoli play, who is very good as well. And some people say Seri is on a similar level to Jorginho. Some other people say he's not on this level. To be honest, I haven't watched Seri that much, so I can't really say that. But what I can say is that £35 million for him really wouldn't be overpaying at all, especially when you think about the fact that we've paid £40 million for Danny Drinkwater last summer. Now obviously people have brought up the point of how can we sign players without the manager in charge, because Antonio Conte certainly isn't involved in signing these players or negotiating with these players. And as we all know, the manager, or rather the first team head coach at Chelsea, doesn't have much of a say in transfers at all. They can express their wishes as to who they'd like to see come in, but the final decision lies with the club and not the manager. And Seri is a very much sought after player in Europe, and I don't think any manager will have an issue with getting him. The other thing is though, how can you convince a player of joining the club if you can't tell him who the manager is going to be? Well, it is very well known by now that we're trying to get Sarri, and if we can't, we're going to get Sarri and Blanc. And if Seri is fine with either of those two options as his new manager, he would most likely sign the deal even without, a new manager having been appointed thus far. And now that I'm already talking about managers, obviously Louis mentioned yesterday that we have reportedly agreed personal terms with Sarri and Blanc, which seems to be the case, but it also seems to be the case that Sarri still remains our number one target, and Blanc, knows that and accepts that he's only our plan B and will only be appointed if we do miss out on Sarri. This is all very confusing. Conte and Kante and Seri and Sarri, can we just sign players and managers that have different names? At the same time, Conte and Kante worked well, so maybe it is actually a good shout if we get them both. Anyway, coming to the next story, that is about the goalkeeper situation, and it still remains unclear, like I have spoken about last week already. But now reports have come out saying that Chelsea and Thibaut Courtois will continue contract extension talks after the World Cup, and that Courtois was actually quite shocked when he heard about Chelsea tapping up other keepers. Like I said last week already, we are interested in Roma keeper Alisson Becker, but there are also some other names in discussion at the club. But let's just wait and see what happens there, because there's not that much point speaking about all these possible goalkeepers when Thibaut Courtois might just end up staying and signing a new deal. We just don't know that thus far. Another bit of news that came out is Yaya Toure's agent saying that Yaya is willing to play for any of the top 6 sides in England, except Manchester United, for nothing more than £1 per week after having been released by Man City, if I'm not mistaken. Now while that sounds so stupid that it simply can't be the case, his agent did say that. Whether he actually meant it the way he said it is a different question. But of course, Yaya wouldn't just stay on that £1 per week, even if it is true, but would expect some success bonuses to be included in that deal. How high those bonuses, would be, we don't know, but I can't see them being particularly cheap, to be honest. Someone that moans about not getting a birthday cake from his club, can't be expecting very cheap bonuses, that's for sure. Now, some people have said on that money and without having to pay a transfer fee, you just have to bring him in, and he could help the likes of Bakayoko and Loftus-Cheek develop. And while I kind of agree on that point, I would also bring up the counter argument and say I'd rather see that place in the squad be taken up by a younger player rather than Yaya Toure, who's well over 30 years old. I'm not so sure about that. Yes, of course, he could probably help Bakayoko and Loftus-Cheek, but I'm not so sure about it. Obviously, we don't know whether his agent actually meant that. But generally, I'm just not so sure about it. And the last bit of news for today is about Jamaal Lascelles of Newcastle. Reportedly, both Chelsea and Tottenham are interested in the 24-year-old English centre-back that will cost around £45 million apparently. Reports actually do say that he is a key target for Chelsea, but I don't necessarily believe that, and also I don't really want to believe that, simply because I don't see the point in signing a centre-back. We have plenty of centre-backs, plenty of very good centre-backs as well, and even if David Luiz leaves, as has been reported that could happen, we still have Kurt Zouma coming back from loan. So if we're not going to sign a world-class centre-back, in my opinion we shouldn't sign any centre-backs, and rather focus on, first of all, getting that manager situation sorted, signing one or two central midfielders depending on how many players in that position leave the club this summer, and also getting a winger and possibly a striker if Morata and or Batshuayi are to leave as well. But yeah, there's not much more to say than that we are interested, that both us and Tottenham are interested. I'm not so sure about it. Like I said, I wouldn't sign a centre-back unless it's a very, very top-class centre-back. So, there we are really. That's really it from me today. Leave me all of your thoughts on all of those stories down in the comment section below. First of all, on Jean-Michaël Seri, what do you think of him? Do you want him at Chelsea? Do you think 35 million is too much or is a good price? Leave it all down in the comment section below. Obviously on that Yaya Toure story or the manager situation, all of what I mentioned today, just leave me your thoughts on it down in the comment section below. And like I said in the beginning, let's see whether we can hit 800 likes on this video. That would be absolutely amazing. And also don't forget to check out my social media, which is Last1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, I would massively appreciate it if you could, follow me over there. And also don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already, and make sure to click the notification bell button as well and choose to be notified about all uploads basically. And I know I'm speaking really fast right now, I don't know why. Anyway, make sure you click the notification bell button. Otherwise you will only miss, some of our videos, and that's just frustrating because YouTube is weird and that's what YouTube likes to do these days. So if you don't press the notification bell button, you will miss videos, and you don't want that and we don't want that either. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.